Hey, in the studio with us right now, I'm going to call this man a legend because he is a legend. It's John Rich. Hey!
Nice to be with you. How you doing?
How you been? Look at this. Hook 'em horns.
You know, I'm in the town, man. It's one of my favorite towns in the world.
I'm guessing you must be a pretty big Texas Longhorn fan.
I'm a big Texas Longhorns fan. I hit up Coach Brown yesterday and said, I'm going to be in Austin tomorrow. Can we meet up, eat some Mexican food? And he's down on a coach's retreat. Or he said, I'll take a rain check. But Cowboy Troy, you know, my good friend went to school at UT. And had I been responsible with my life and gone to college, I would have gone to UT.
Well, what? Okay, now that leads to the question, what the heck happened?
Well, I got tied up in this little band called Lone Star.
Heard of them?
And went out on the road and, you know, started playing music professionally when I was 18 years old. And never made it to college, but if you go to my house there in Nashville, you'll see a giant set of Longhorns above my bar. I've got a ball signed by Coach Royal and Coach Brown on the same ball. I've got, you know, all the memorabilia. I've sang the anthem at several UT games, Longhorns games over the year. I actually have a song on my new record called Texas, and the chorus says, you can take the boy out of Texas, but you can't take Texas out of the boy. I get raunchy, rude, rowdy, and reckless when I throw my horns up and make a little noise.
So you're making some noise in Nashville.
Yeah, man.
When you say UT, you're thinking Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what they think. I tell them, that's the wrong UT. Wrong color orange. I said, y'all's looks like a prison jumpsuit. You know? You got the prison jumpsuit orange. We got the good burnt orange down there.
Hey, let's talk about it. You mentioned you've got a new song. You've got a new album coming out.
Yeah, I do.
Now, give me the scoop on that.
Well, I've got this new album coming out called Rich Rocks.
Okay.
And what is different about this record is every song on it rocks.
It's all up-tempo?
It never slows down. It's all up-tempo. It's all hard guitar driving, big sawing fiddles, big banging drums, kinds of hard rock country is what I call it. You know, because as a songwriter, every day you turn on the TV or you pick up a newspaper, you just get bummed out more and more and more. And I thought, man, last thing I want to do is write a song that bums me out even more. You know, it's something sad or something too serious. I just want to rock.
But you know what? You're known for writing great love songs.
I've written a few love songs, just not in that mood right now. You know,
Yeah.
I'm in the mood to rock and tear it up and get really loud and rowdy. And one thing about this record that's really unique is, you know how on a record when a song ends and then there's a little space, and then the second song starts and then it ends, there's a little space, and that's how records go? Not this record. In between the songs, I produced beats and transitions, and over the tops of those I have Hank Jr., Kid Rock, Cowboy Troy, a rapper named Lil Jon, who's out of Atlanta, who's just crazy, the big party guy in that scene. And they're actually over the top calling out the next song. So you put Rich Rocks in, you crank it up, turn the knob to the right, and let it go, and you have created yourself a situation.
It's, I think, a good way to describe it.
It's the funnest record I've ever made.
Well, when's this coming out?
September 28th, it'll be in the stores, and the first release of it's a little song called Country Done Come to Town.
Now, tell me about the celebrities in the video. You've got George Jones.
Yeah.
Who else?
George Jones, Ted Nugent.
Now, wait, that's an odd pairing right there. Nugent
Isn't
Jones.
it? Yeah, well, these are all my friends. Like, these are people I talk to weekly.
You got their numbers.
We talk all the time. George Jones, Ted Nugent, Sebastian Bach, you know, from Skid Row. He was in Gone Country in one of the seasons of Gone Country on CMT. He and I became good friends. Gretchen Wilson is the bartender in the video. Of course, Cowboy Troy, 2 Foot Fred. It's just an insane video that we shot at my house in Nashville. If you want to see it, you just go to johnrich.com, and it's right there on the front page. You can click on it. And I will tell you, I will warn you, it does have girls in bikinis wrestling in a kiddie pool full of cream-style corn.
Who came up with
I mean, if that ain't country, well, I thought, you know...
Cream corn.
Yeah, cream corn wrestling up on the roof of the house.
You could have started a new trend.
There's grass on the roof, and George Jones is mowing the roof on his lawnmower. I mean, it's crazy. It truly is country done come to town.
Taking over
it's
the
hilarious.
town, more like it.
Yeah, man, it's funny.
You know, we had a chance to visit before we started rolling the camera. I love to know the stories behind the songs. And one of the best songwriters of our generation, Freddie Powers.
Absolutely.
You've got something very special in your house, Freddie Powers. I'm just going to let you tell the story.
Well, you know, Freddie Powers is, like you said, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, and one of the greatest jazz country pickers of all time, and as a Austin man. And became friends with him several years ago and wrote a couple of songs with him. And he showed me this guitar. It's kind of a little smaller version of a guitar, and it's kind of banged up. And I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the guitar that lived on the houseboat with me and Merle for 13 years out on Lake Shasta."
Wow.
And they wrote, "You put me on a natural high" on that guitar. They wrote, "Chase each other around the room tonight. You've got a friend in California looking for a place to fall apart." On and on and on.
You got this guitar.
And Freddie signed the guitar and said, "John, you put me on a natural high." Freddie Powers, and said, "Hope there's some good songs left in this guitar."
So what do you do with the guitar?
So I write songs on it, man. I write songs on it. Country Done Come to Town, this new song, I wrote that on that guitar.
That's cool.
When you pick up a guitar, I never even cleaned it. You know, even the fretboards still have kind of the dirt around the frets, and I figure that's Merle and Freddie dirt on that, so it's never even been cleaned. I kept the original strings on it, got those rolled up in a box, and I write on that guitar.
That's cool. Anything else special in your house? Because, I mean, you've got a big place in Nashville.
There's something really special in my house. My son, that's a pretty
6
big
months
deal.
old, and your son's name is?
His name is Cash William Rich.
Now, how did you get the name Cash? I think I know, but...
Well, you know, Johnny Cash to me was maybe the greatest artist of all time. I mean, for me, the very first song I learned to sing was Ring of Fire, and then my dad taught me Folsom Prison Blues, you know, and I started learning those Johnny Cash. Hey Porter, you tell me the time. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, at a kindergarten talent contest, I sang Folsom Prison Blues, and you should have seen my teacher's face when I said, "Shot a man in Reno just to watch him die." And all the kids' parents are going, What did he just say? Of course, I won the talent contest, but grew up loving Johnny Cash, and I wanted to name my son after somebody that I admired a great deal, so I named him Cash, not to mention the songwriter and me kind of like the ring of Cash Rich.
That's nice, yeah.
And I figured someday if he ever gets really mad at me and goes, "My dad's not cool anymore, Dad, I don't want to listen to what you say," I'll say, "Well, son, I might not be cool, but I gave you a pickup line as a name. How you doing, darling? Cash Rich. So I'm not all bad, brother. You know, don't forget, your daddy gave you a cool name."
Did you ever meet Johnny Cash?
I did. I opened a few shows for him when I was at Lone Star.
Yeah.
And he had June out with him and everything, and we'd open the show, and you know, it was just a tequila talking and no news, and then Johnny Cash. And "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," you know, and you just go and I've got pictures of me and him hanging around the house.
That's cool. That's something to give your son also.
Very, very cool.
Right there.
Yes, sir.
My goodness. Hey, John Rich, and again, the new album's going to be out in September. The name of it's going to be called?
Rich Rocks. It's on johnrich.com. You can see all about it.